guys, welcome back to Controls Hackers YT. Today we're back on another video. Today we're doing the Sunderland career. I think one of the most trickier FM 24 series now. FM 26 is getting released in December 21st. It's been official, there will be no delays to the game. FM 26 coming out 7:25, so we missed one FM now. But FM 26 will be officially out on December 21st, 4 days before Christmas. So it launches on Sunday, 21st of December 2025 is when it will be live. People can start pre-ordering, I think it's like November time. Yeah. So today we will be doing a Sunderland career mode. So, yeah. So I've got Ipswich Town, the first league game of the season. It might be easy. Then we've got Sheffield Wednesday, but then I've got Sheffield Wednesday in the Carabao Cup. Then we have got Preston North in the Championship. Now, I think my main objective is to get Sunderland promoted to the Prem, and then we can look at trying to stay up. But for us to stay up, we need to sign players to at least beat the record now. But there's not really good players that we can sign. This guy here, he's worth £70 million now. I would have bought him if I could, but he's worth just too much for us to sign. See again, £25 million, and then 1.8 million, 32-year-old. So it's quite tricky. All we need to do is go on to Rangers. We're going to mostly look into the Premiership, the Saints Premiership. Because we can't really buy Fabio Silva because he's worth £59 million. We could try and the potential of Cyril Dessers. Don't really have the money for Jack Butland. What about John Suter, Dijon Sterling, maybe Gavin Matundo on £60 million, but we can sign these players. We could also sign John Lundstrom, but the question is how well we do. There was a potential we could have signed Danilo, but we want to look at building this squad around the Scottish Premiership. We're going to start with Cyril Dessers, £3.3 million. Now, there will be a further potential for us to get Mohamed Diamande. It will depend if it doesn't go up. John Suter, we won't have the money for Cyril Dessers and John Suter. We could be looking at Ryan Jack, but again, he could be retiring. Perasic, we could look at buying him, but again, he might retire. But £4.6 million, I'm not scared to spend it, but he's not going to that club, and Bonnie Perasic will not head to Sunderland because they're in the Championship. So, this is, I thought, a lot harder than I was expecting on signing players. We could try and sign Kamal Roof, but as again, is he going to be useful? That's we'll only probably sign him until, I don't know, his transfer value won't go up. He's already, because it would be failed. So basically, they don't want to come to the club because their contracts would fail. And that's why you want to work around not the Scottish Premiership that much, but I think the work along the Scottish Premiership that will be taking place to develop, and that's what I'm trying to aim for Rangers, because I mean, Rangers will bring good talent in, but I'm not, because the players don't come to a club. Keane Davis only joined a new club, and Tom Lawrence would not come to a club anyway. I wonder who I'm going to sign though. We might dig in the Hearts for Lon Shanklin, but again, if he won't come to the club, it's the only player that I don't think would come to this club. We could look more into Kilmarnock, but as again, they don't really bring the players. We could sign Danny Armstrong. To go into Hibs, because we know Hibs could develop really good players. Lewis Miller, we could sign him, but again, will he be good or will he not be good? And he's mostly not going to be good. We could also try and sign Liam Kelly, but Liam Kelly might be so bad for the Championship. Len Miller, £4.6 million, that would go down the drain. We're going to see Shanklin has no doubts about this. So we're offering him 15,000, but of course he doesn't want 15,000 for it. So what I now need to do is not put that on his hand, but input £37 million. We're going to use that Danny Armstrong. Lenny Miller doesn't think joining Sunderland at the moment will be the right move for him. Lawrence Shanklin has accepted 16,000 as his contract for Sunderland. The question is he going to fit into that squad? He's already come to a club. He's already come to a club, so that's a good start for Lawrence Shanklin now. So now we know getting into the Premier League, I think that might hold some beliefs now. Of course, but I think we need to mostly look at focusing on winning mostly cup games, maybe also trying to win the Sky Bet Championship, absolutely shocking the full Sky Bet Championship, saying Sunderland has finished first or second, Leicester, Southampton and Leeds may not get promoted. And you want, instead of Leicester, Southampton and Leeds, you want a new club who's probably will never be in the Premier League. Well, Sunderland, they were in the Premier League a lot, but as again, they're in the Premier League this season, in the 25-26 season, so maybe in the next 50 years we might not see Sunderland in the Premier League. We might see them stuck in the Championship, but the board are absolutely raging with signing Danny Armstrong. The fans are pleased to have signed Lon Shanklin from Hearts, but that's what you want to mostly go to, is Scotland, because even though like Danny Armstrong might not fit into the squad, in a couple of years' time he might fit into that squad. But we're home to Switch Town. In January we will be mostly looking at the Scottish Premiership more than the Championship. I think the Scottish Premiership cheapest teams, you might need things under worth £57 million in that team, in any team. So that's what I want to focus on there, to get good deals as well. Both the champs, both the score. I think some of them will bring a lot of goals to Sunderland. Maybe in the Premier League they might not score loads of goals, but they might score some goals. So I was going to look at like different players at Ipswich, but I don't think they would be a lot better. I've just lost to them. And that player there might be a potential of us actually loaning them out. I think we might be able to loan him out here. No, I don't know now. So Shankland made his debut, but he didn't score. So if we give him January, I'll see how January goes. I think the fans will start to hate me when I'm losing games, and we might, if we lose to January and we're not even near playoffs, we're not going to get into playoffs unless we win every single game until the end of the season. But the only hope will be Carabao Cup and the FA Cup and the league. If we do get knocked at the Carabao Cup, it'll be the FA Cup and the league that we'll need to rely on. We do lose 2-1, and that's Danny Armstrong scored. That's a good thing though that he scored. The thing is, we've been defeated, which is bad. So that means we cannot lose a game because I get sacked, and then that's just bad. So we really need to start winning games now. I don't think signing the players was a better choice, but it's what it is. What I'm trying to look at is like Transport. The thing is, they're worth too much money. If I had to go to Leeds, if I had to pick that striker that I said, where is he? He's disappeared now. Oh well, if we had to go for Sam Greenwood, we might not even get him in a loan because he's already on loan at Leeds from Middlesbrough. Glenn Kamara, he's £5.4 million. He might not even want a loan. He does, but he's worth too much money for us to try and sign him, so that's why we want to offer him 17,000. No, he was 25,000. If we had to go into here, we do need to get into the Premier League badly because £5 million in the finances are going to be so bad for a Championship side as well. We do actually win, and Lon Shanklin scores 54th minute and 63rd minute. We're 2-0 up. Thought we were going to lose that though, but we do make the comeback, and I'm now picking up 3 points now. If we sit in that table, that would be fine. If we get to the playoff spot and lose it, we should get a little bit more money than expected. I have actually clicked expanding the stadium. I thought there was an option to transfer. There is to increase the transfer budget. We might only get £5 million, which is that good or is that bad? But they've rejected it because the budget was adjusted recently. So now we need to wait until January to figure out what teams or how much money we're going to get. That will all for the prize money in the league and how many fans we had. Home to Rotherham. We do win again in the Lawrence Shanklin with 3 goals in 2 games in a row. So we're slowly crawling back after the 2 defeats that we did get in the league. I think no, there was only 1 defeat we had in the league and 1 defeat in the Carabao Cup. The FA Cup will get drawn on January the 6th. I don't think we really need to worry about like 15 days. We need to worry about this. In the Sense Premiership, that's what happens. You need to wait for like 16 days to play the first Scottish Cup game every season, and they never change it. It's never like, oh, it'll be January 1st at Scottish Cup. But there is supposed to be a decent turnout. Now, Lon Shanklin is injured, so this will be a tricky game for Sunderland against Coventry. But Coventry at 18th. Now, that's a thing that I would not accept, losing 3-1 to a team who was 18th in that table. They were up against a hard team, Russell Martin, Southampton side, at the Stadium of Light. Hopefully I'm able to change that name later, because I honestly don't think Sunderland is Stadium of Light if in this FM save it's not really a light, because we don't really most of our home games. But yeah, if we do get relegated, then it's game over for us. So it's been most like if you're in the Premier League, you need to stay in the Premier League. You can't just get relegated and expect to stay there. If you win the Champions League and then get relegated the following season, I think that would be fine. So, but home to Southampton second, I think we might lose. Stranger things have happened though. No, we draw, but that's good. But what's not good is 15th. If we win our next game, that might take us to 5th. But we need to win by like 4 goals. It's against QPR. I don't know how I'm feeling about that game though. I think there will be a potential if Lon Shanklin is not back in time, then I don't think we'll get far. I don't know how long he's out for though, because I think it makes it the weeks. So we want him back before QPR. I don't think we'll do that though. What we're going to mostly go into is the Premiership still. Look at the Premiership because we know some clubs like Scotland could get attracted to Rangers. If it gets bought by Rangers, then we would go and try and look for a sell. Oh, this guy here, he's on course. That's because he is on loan. That's because he is on loan at Sunderland. So he'll go back to Hibs. I think after the end of the season, he will go back. Look at Coventry though. They're 18th and they're 3rd. I think if we have actually bet them, we would probably have thrashed them, and we would have been in that 3rd place. But as again, Lon Shanklin, I don't see him on anywhere on the bench. I think he might be down below, but yeah. We do win 3-1. That's a good thing. I think because of the sending off in the 37th minute, that kind of really worked. I thought we were going to actually get into at least 5th or 4th, 5th mostly, because all I need was Bristol, Coventry, Watford to lose, but still. So at least that match I win. So we've only lost 2 games. I don't know, when we start to lose games, I would take in what I was like, no, this needs to get resolved, and then new tactics will need to come in. Because the more games that you lose, the more the fans will hate you, the more the board will hate you, the more the owners of Sunderland will hate you. The Shanklin is back, but it may take me a couple of games to get used to playing in football again. But we do win 3-2, just though, because we were 3-0 up before they scored 2 goals. Danny Armstrong put me 81st minute. But at least we're still 8th. Win our next game, by 6 goals, there will be a possibility of second. But look at Norwich. They're undefeated at the moment. Norwich City. We're playing Cardiff then. So this is our next month in October. So after we play Cardiff and Sheffield Wednesday, we've got 2 big teams, maybe 3. Watford, Middlesbrough. I would say that would be a big game because that's on TV. Stoke. These are the 2 games that we couldn't play more. Leicester City, Norwich City. So we play Norwich at home, and then we've got Leicester away, and then we've got Norwich at home at the Stadium of Light, aka the not of Stadium of Light. So Franklin starting again. Hopefully he scores, but it will take him used to getting back into this. I would take 2-0 because that actually gets us into the playoff spot. We're 3 points away. If we win our next game, there will be no way we'll get first or second unless they lose and we end up winning our next 2 games. But we've got Sheffield Wednesday, then we've got Watford. But we really want to win against Sheffield Wednesday and Watford to probably fit a better campaign to really hit the roof. Not hitting the roof. What I would not take is how we got knocked out by Sheffield Wednesday in that cup competition and Daniel Armstrong scoring. It will take Daniel Armstrong and Lord Shanklin for a while, but as again, Daniel Armstrong's 30, so he might only have 3 years with him with Sunderland, but he's not starting really more games because put quick play, auto lineups and whatever we call it. We do beat Sheffield Wednesday, and that's one thing I don't understand. When we played the Carabao Cup, we lost 2-1, but then when we go away from home, we end up winning 1-0. Now, this could be getting a close one because what you want to do is if Leicester, Southampton, if Norwich get promoted, the only teams you might beat is the teams who have been relegated. That's all I can say. Um, so we're not qualifying for Europe unless we win the FA Cup. We're not going into Europa League. I think it's Europa League now. I don't know what FM24 was, but I think it is Europa League that we do play. And so win this next game, we won't get second or first. There will be a potential of us if Southampton lose, but they have a game in hand, so we're already hard. So this is a game that we must win for third and bring us one step closer to the Skyway Championship. We do win, and Danny Armstrong to seal the game shut. Southampton fifth. Now the team that we now need to really worry is like Leeds, Bristol, Coventry. But now, because Norwich have lost a game, so is Leicester, there will be a potential for us to top of Norwich City. And we've got Middlesbrough and then Stoke. I think we'll beat Swansea and Stoke. I think Middlesbrough might be a tricky game though. At home, which is a good thing. Shanklin, where is he? I don't know if I should start him. I'm going to start. He scored, I don't know how many goals he'll score this season, but we're home to Middlesbrough. We do draw. Oh, that's us now regain fourth again. That's what I didn't want to happen because I knew that might happen sometime, but they're disappointed now that the finance involved in the deal to sign Lawrence Shanklin. That's the board, not the fans. The fans wanted him in. The fans, even when I showed you, it said the fans were delighted that Lawrence Shanklin was signing for Sunderland, and then the board have just come out and negative and said no. I think what we need to do is now start planning our January transfers. We've only sent 2 players in the summer, which if we were in the Premier League, we'd probably send a lot more players unless I go stupid and then end up doing what I normally do. We get £57 million, spend the players worth £20 million, £50 million, and then that's it. Then we'll only have enough for 2 players. I don't know, because like you might want to spend £40 million, £35 million. It just really depends what transfer value goes up to. Shanklin will start again. We're away to Stoke, who are so close to relegation as well. 15 places from us. But that's one thing I think really sends me over this roof. How they were 19th, now they've moved up to 16th, very close to that relegation. But yeah, end up losing that game. That really annoys me now. We've got Leicester City. We might watch this game though. think it will be a big game for us. But we're playing at the King Power Stadium, 49,000 capacity of the stadium. Now, Leicester City chance. Now, this isn't going to end well. Who's going to what's not 1-0? I don't get this. Like, I don't get how we're getting these. Like, they touch the ball for a penalty, but yeah, it's still a penalty. Like that. But that's a simply a very good. We might want to look for a new goalkeeper, to be honest. Oh, that's close. We sim this, hoping for a win. This is risking sixth place. No way. No way we've beaten Leicester City. No way. That's got to be fake now. We've beaten Leicester City. That's a big shot. Now they lost the top spot because Norwich is now taking that. This would be so hilarious if we beat Norwich. If we had beaten Norwich and Leicester go top of the table. So we've just beaten Leicester City. Norwich have went top. If we beat Norwich, Leicester go top and Celtic Norwich go second. But the thing is, Norwich have got 32 points, so that would only bring us to 3 points closer to the Premier League. Oh well, Ba was very good at that game. Player of the match. Oh my, this is what I mean. When we get the good Premier League, this should all change with our stadium, where we get full capacities of stadiums against Manchester City, Manchester United, Wolves. That's one of the teams that's still up there, but we could potentially sign this one from Norwich. I want to try and sign Norwich players. It depends how much money we get next season or in January. So after the prize money ticket prices, how much tickets for some season tickets, how much seasons tickets to sell, all of that. The good news is our 3 shots on target is 7 shots. I would say that we're pretty good. Like we've got a free kick here, Roberts. We're getting the shots, but they're off target, and that's what I didn't really get. They're off target. Like, we should be 5-2, but we're not. I don't know. Anthony Patterson's been brilliant this game. He was brilliant in the Leicester game as well, when we faced Leicester City. Yeah, to do the same again today. That's one thing I kind of get with Norwich. Like, what I really think really annoys me is how do you get the goalkeeper to kick it to the player so like your team gets it? But we did make the comeback. 55th minute penalty from Jack Clark, and then Lawrence Shankland in the 71st minute. We are somehow fourth. Southampton won against Birmingham City, but now Norwich lose top spot. Oh, now this would be a big game for us because there's so much. If Norwich lose their next 2 games and Leicester lose their next 2 games, us and Southampton can actually lose first or second. I think we'd end up second because we've got like 8 goal difference. But 2 months until we find out what players we'll buy. Good news is we've spent most of the time in the playoffs, but here is a big game against Swansea, who are 13 places below us. That's a thing that I absolutely hate. We went 1-0 down. That's our chance to go, right, 3 points still. We're now 2 points behind Southampton, we've got Birmingham City, Plymouth Argyle, Huddersfield, Millwall, and West Brom. All of the teams aren't even in the top 8. I would be happy enough finishing in the top 8, but I think it's our first season as a manager, you need to impress the team and say, right, I've got the team into a playoff spot, but yeah, I lost the final of the championship. Then they'll be like that, right, we'll give you this much money, hopefully you get into the English Premier League. That should work, maybe, but again, you wouldn't be second or first. But home to Birmingham City, who are 14 places below us, we win 2-0. That is what I'm seeing from a Sunderland team. We win these games. Leeds, I think, are doing horribly. What I don't want is Southampton to be there. I think if it's a Sunderland Southampton final, it is going to be a lot trickier for us because Southampton have got like Shea Adams, Adam Armstrong, all of the players. So we really need to get loads of money next season, January, and keep spending the money, sell players. I don't think selling players will be the key, but for us to make room in our starting 11 and our substitutes by selling players. But what players do I even sign? Because the board won't do anything about that. It's all left up to the managers to make that decision here. The board are probably working on what my future would look like. Extending my future is pretty good. The only thing fans don't like was the win or defeat against Stoke, which I never absolutely liked anyway. We were, if we go to our objectives, I don't know how you actually get onto that. But objectives, I don't know how you get onto objectives, but on our way, I think it is here. So this is our end of season, reach the Sky Bet Championship. Please be competitive in the FA Cup. Be competitive in the Carabao Cup. We've already passed that. We're on course to work within the wage budget. Play high tempo press football. That's please win promotion to the Premier Division. The end. So this is what really starts when we meet the end of 27-28 season in the Championship. If Sunderland are not promoted, I think I'll be out the club because it says work towards gaining promotion to the Premier Division. That's for the 24-25 season, 25-26 season, 26-27 season, and then this is where they would say, because that would be the end of my contract, saying 2027-28 season, get promoted. I think that might become contract though. I think that's where I'm going to be. No, 2033. So I think if we get promoted now, we don't need to worry about getting promoted anymore. It really depends if we get back with Manchester City. But the thing is, I want Leicester and Norwich to be up so we can actually secure ourselves out of relegation and stay up for a season, hopefully, not be on the Championship side to go down. Playing Plymouth Argyle away in Plymouth, we do win 2-0. Oh, now this is actually my close championship though between top 8, maybe the top 9 though. But the thing is, if we had not have lost, if we hadn't have drew that game to Swansea, we would have been top of Norwich. We've got Huddersfield, then Millwall, then West Brom, then first time playing Leeds, then first time playing Leicester, Bristol City, and then hopefully that should take us up to January. Norwich, Watford, we really want Watford to win, and we really want Southampton to lose their game. Oh, right, now that's a problem. They did draw the opposite what if. Actually, I don't know, because that would put us levelled with Norwich. But now what we want is Southampton to lose to Bristol City. bet or not. It will be the opposite. I bet you'll be like opposite day. But you'll oh, don't tell me they lost. They lost as well. I bet you. No, they drew instead. So what I wanted them, I wanted them. It's either a draw or a loss. I wanted them. But now we lose to Huddersfield. It's quite embarrassing. It's not embarrassing when you lose against a top 8 side. So 8th all the way to first. When the club's now in debt, so I don't think we'll get any money in January. Unless we get to this Premier League, we're not getting any money in January. Because, as you said, we're in the minus £1 million in debt, which is really bad for us. 24th place Millwall. Now, I would have been really shocked if we had lost that game, but we didn't. We won 2-0. I've been shocked at that because Millwall are literally bottom of the table, but it might be a top relegation. It might be like a competitive relegation versus like the really competitive playoff play people. Because I would have never expected Watford to be there. I expected Ipswich, but who I would really maybe expect to be there, I would have said Blackburn, maybe or Middlesbrough. Like the top 8 kind of looks right, except Watford. Maybe Sunderland as well. I would have said Sunderland. Yeah, we get West Brom who are in 18th. I think we've mostly spent most of our season in 4th. Like the highest we've ever been stud. The thing is, now we want Southampton to lose. They would still be second, but we want Norwich to lose, and then we want Southampton to lose the next 2 games. So is Norwich for us to win. But the thing is, we're not going to get Jamie Vardy to Sunderland. What I think is, if we do get Sunderland to the Premier League, yeah, loads of teams would want to come to Sunderland. Now, we've faced Luton Town in the Premier League. It might be a tricky game though, but I think Luton Town are in relegation in the Premier League because they did get relegated last season down to the Championship. Now, this guy here, he could be off to Celtic. I'm going to be refusing that straight away. He is not going to Celtic because he deserves better. He deserves to go to Manchester City. He doesn't deserve to go to some Scottish Premiership. He won't get a lot of game time probably. He might actually get loads still, but still, he still gets game time with Sunderland. But we do beat Sunderland, not beat Sunderland, we do win against West Brom. Oh, right, that's wonderful. Norwich wins 6-2. But the good news is Southampton drew 1 point. It's 1 point between second and third. Well, 0 points between second and third, but fourth, where we are, there is a possibility that there is a space. And that's why we need around to beat Leeds, who have beaten Blackburn, but still. Armstrong wants first team football. I don't care if you want first team football or not. I'm going to give him a chance. I don't know how I wasted. I don't know how much money I spent on, but I wasted so much money on him. He's only started 2 games, I think. None of them bench though. But we will be home at Sunderland. I think this has got our only best opportunities for second. Do draw. Oh, now 0 points. Oh no, wait, I've just realised. Southampton and Norwich both have games in hand. Oh, well, that's wonderful. That's us on 3 points now behind them. I don't know who would take Southampton or Norwich in the playoffs. I would probably take Southampton. Because I think because we drew to them, I think it's going to perhaps a lot better. Southampton drew, that's good. But Norwich drew. Norwich won against Sheffield Wednesday. Bad. So, when reached to January, we're £2 million in debt. We're not going to get the transfer money. We will need to live off free agents somehow. How are we going to live off the free agents? Yeah. Well, away to Bristol City, who are 11th in the table. We do win. But this is getting really tight now because Norwich are drew and Southampton won 4-0. So that just puts us points between second. Win this next game against Coventry, that's second place now. But as again, in every Premier League, like, don't you get you get a takeover within like one season? I'm pretty sure that's always happened to me when I do saves. Like, within one season, your club is already going to get taken over. But what we're looking at is we've not got a chairperson. Really bad. Really bad. We've got no chairperson. And that's probably why we're going into debt, because the owners of the club aren't actually putting money into the club because we've got no chairperson. The chairperson can't put any money into Sunderland. So I think there will be a possible takeover there, because I think the chairperson means that will be the owner of the club. Like, the chairperson sells the club, buys the club. That's what they do, I'm pretty sure. We're home to Coventry City. We do lose. Well, we draw. Don't tell me. Southampton won, right? That's not that bad, but we're still 3 points behind them. But we're 2 points in front of Ipswich, so that means we need to beat them. We need to win until we play Ipswich. We did lose Ipswich 2-1 at the stadium of like. Maybe the chairperson is affecting us. Maybe the debts are affecting the squad, because they know, like, we're not going to get our probably January wages in. That's it. So I think that's probably what's affecting the players now. Like, we're still winning games. We're just drawing them. Oh no. This could get really bad, but thankfully Ipswich drew Leicester. Brendan Rodgers was spotted at the stadium when we faced Coventry. Still looking at that player. He's not getting. Brendan Rodgers could spend as much money as he wants in Sunderland games. He will not be getting him in January. It's what I've now just realised. January is literally when we play Bristol North End. 1st of January, New Year's Day. That's it. Bristol North End. Away to Rotherham, who are bottom of this championship. Now, that really now annoys me now. How we've just drawn the 24th place team that we should be beating. Right, when are we going to get a new chairperson? Because we're getting no money. Because I don't think we've been given any money this season. Yep, £0. £0 spent. I can't believe that. No money to spend a player. And what I could do is I'm going to need to pick between age there. Contract status expire here. This is the best we can get good players, kind of. Should we look at a new goalkeeper? I think I'm going to look at a new goalkeeper. Now here. No. No. It's not like any good players. What we could do is, we do rushing out reflexes. Right, so we can do that. So mostly it will be reflexes, but no. Because it's like 14, but that's like 19. Nah. If a good staff, maybe. I know staff. Like, we've got Carlisle. No, wait, why is that? Just. That's mucked it up now. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, anyway. We're home to Preston North End. This will be our last game. We do beat Preston North End, but that will be our last game. Episode 1. We'll be back with episode 2 really shortly. Where is the FA Cup? So stay tuned later, probably today, you might see episode 1 out, episode 2. Bye everyone.